Good afternoon, dear colleagues. Thank you for being with us today at this event. Today we shall sum up the project results of strengthening the system of public activists project. Today we have here Rozhkova, coordinator of the project, Anastasia Rozhkova, Zdenka, Caisova, Deputy Ambassador of Czech Republic to Ukraine, Vladyslav Grezev, member of movement who ordered the killing of Katya Gandziuk. Good afternoon, dear sirs and madam. I'm glad to be at this event. I can tell you in brief about the cooperation with civil society. This is one of priorities in assistance of Czech Republic to Ukraine. Ukraine is one of priority countries for Eastern Partnership who will provide assistance in the framework of TRANS program. TRANS is stands for transition, and this November 17th, this is an anniversary of transition from communist regime to freedom to democratic regime. And Western countries provided us assistance in this transition, and we are glad to provide consultations and help you to create a new quality in some areas. We think that civil society is one of the main factors of development in Ukraine, and this is not the first project which we assist. We monitor the situation with security in Kiev and Ukraine so that we can understand what are the developments here. I'd like to add that for 5 years the assistance from Czech government to Ukraine achieved $15 million, including assistance to civil society. This is in brief. I will be glad to hear the results of this project. In brief about the results and about the project, the co-coordinator of the project, Katya Rozhkova, will tell us. In the framework of our project, we conduct the monitoring of pressure on civil activists. We recorded 68 cases of pressure. The pressure could be with criminal cases and civil cases initiation. There also could be beatings, arsons, intimidation, and so on and so forth. This and Kiev demonstrated the majority of cases. 6 regional coordinators covered the whole territory of Ukraine. This is the map of persecutions where you can see details of every case. This year we monitored the trends. This was the year of elections, and this added to the specifics. In April, the policemen detained the representatives of movement Rebuff, and during the election campaign the law enforcement bodies they counteracted to dissemination on Вечерний Kiev newspaper with There was also the 13 Friends of Soling case where each of this company filed lawsuits for 1 million for 13 activists who were against the development by this developer company Soling. This is difficult for activists to find lawyers because this means high financial costs, and now activists are afraid for their family members, and they are afraid of arsons because in Odessa there were cases of setting on fire apartments and cars. We also monitor and we observe the LGBT violence cases. There is no punishment, no detected cases, and detentions and the arrests are not registered, not recorded, so a person cannot understand whether he or she is detained. This was the situation with Karina Tsuryuba of 16 years old. She was not allowed to go out of the police department, and we think that Arsen Avakov should be a personal responsibility and to be dismissed. Thank you.
Vitaliy, please, could you tell us about the communal paper that now does not exist, and we have Вечерний Квартал and the Великий Kiev newspapers. Those who disseminated this paper, these were elderly people. They were detained on the eve of elections. First detention happened on Wednesday before Sunday's vote, and 2 people were brought to police station. Administrative protocol was compiled, and the figure, the sum that should have been paid by this person, about 48,000 hryvnias. Another woman, she just started to cry at the entrance, and they asked her to leave. After this case, we addressed the management of Podil regional police station, and they said that they would record it and they won't allow these things to happen. And after this, on Friday, one more woman was detained. She disseminated the newspaper at the Lva Tolstova metro station. When it happened, the head of the service of delivery, he called me. He said that they have a problem at this metro station, Lva Tolstova station, and I asked what happened, and he said that for 3 days there is an order to detain people who disseminate Великий Kiev newspaper. I was surprised. I remember such cases only during reign of Leonid Danilovich, and I came there, I introduced myself, and I asked what is going on and why a person was detained, why this dissemination is over now. So simply and naively senior sergeant that was sitting at the table, he said that there is an order and it is active for 3 days, that those people who disseminate Veliki Kiev newspaper should be detained. I was very surprised. I started to record with the use of my phone, and I said that this is interference into the activity of dissemination of press, Article 30, and those people who interfere, they can be punished under criminal code. And then there were some strange procedures, and in the result, we cancelled 2 administrative protocols and court administrative protocols against these people who disseminated this newspaper. Also through the court, we introduced this case to single registry of cases, pretrial cases. Now this case is considered by your Bureau of Investigation. All investigation actions have been completed, and I believe that in 2 weeks I will be able to have some result and to inform on this. Before this, I stopped the activity, I suspended the activity of this newspaper. So you have been out of work for this period of time, and I understand that we have big losses because of this. What prospects do you see? In accordance with the law, if we live in a country where there is rule of law, the prospects are fantastic, because this order and the senior sergeant and major, they got this order from someone, and I have information from whom they got this order. In order to punish these people, they should speak against their superiors. I really hope that they understand that they will be sent to prison for 3 years, or they should speak about their superiors. And I hope that they will help us in searching for truth. If we have a successful court hearing on this, I have one more case that I would like to file to the court. I know what we will do next. When first person was detained, one advisor of the Minister of Internal Affairs, I said to this person that you just will have pain, a nail in your ass. This will be little, but it won't interfere in your daily activities, but at the same time, it will bleed, it will rot. And maybe you will need to have a surgery to remove it. Thank you for this case, and we hope for legal resolution of this problem. Vladyslav, you are coordinator of who ordered Katya Gandziuk initiative. The attack happened a year ago. You used different instruments. It was covered by the media, and this case was known not only in Kiev. You held some actions in the regions. What are other instruments? Not only to have public instruments, but other instruments that you used in the communication of power. And what would you advise to other public activists who try to defend people? Thank you. First, I would like to thank all those who are involved in creation of this initiative. Even at the start of this idea, we had support, and we heard from our colleague that law enforcers, they do not want to cooperate, and they even participate in these attacks on activists. We understand that in the regions, law enforcers and officials, they together oppose common sense and truth. Legal system does not work. It doesn't work for. It works against. The only thing we may rely is on our solidarity. And about Katya Gandziuk initiative, I would like to remind to you that this initiative appeared as a response on this inhumane attack on our friend. And everyone in this movement, their acquaintances of friends of Katerina, those who followed her on Facebook and were admired by her activity, her actions. He was a remarkable person. About the instruments, you mentioned them. These are continuous actions to attract attention of the media and the public. We used all ways to keep focus on this issue because we saw that starting first days, first of all, they tried to find the scapegoat, and the activity of public activists and other people's cases. Some of these cases were just closed, and we promoted the investigation, and we made some steps to pressure prosecutor's office on law enforcement bodies. They didn't want to be active, and we forced them to do active actions. And we saw not only passivity and sabotage, we saw that cases are closed and evidence against some people, they are just taken out of the cases. So, complete lawlessness. And our response was appropriate. We came to one of the people in the case, and we said to these people that maybe you will avoid responsibility in the framework of law, but we will come to you. And hundreds of people, they came to the houses of these people, to their offices where they work. Political leadership works in this business, and they have relation to this to ordering of this killing. And it is difficult to draw attention because a lot of things happen, and there should be something bright to draw attention. From time to time, we use some noise and light means. We used music and graffiti in the streets, and we have some graffiti about Katerina, about her words, about her statements. And on my T-shirt you may see a photo of Katerina, and we send these graffitis to other towns in order that people remembered about this case, about this impunity. And we should achieve justice in this case. We won't stop. We will move forward. No matter what the power be, we will move forward in this direction. And some things were not highlighted by the media. The work with the law enforcers, all the information that was collected in alternative investigation that we got from an indifferent people addressed us through the page, and also participants, media persons, they were active. And we sent all the materials provided by the people to investigators. Also, we worked with NGOs, human rights defense organizations, international organizations in different countries. When the state is against you, when law enforcers are against you, you should have a lot of people who stand for you, and they should pressure them from different sides in order to get at least minimum results. We move step by step, slowly, but we are moving forward, and we won't stop until we achieve justice. And we hope to achieve this justice. Thank you very much for these instruments of communication about investigative commissions. 2 days ago, Verkhovna Rada initiated creation of such a commission.
It was maybe 3 weeks ago. This commission was established. As of today, this submission has not been in the Verkhovna Rada, but we got from David Rahania the comment that he is ready to initiate the submission, and I think that the head of the commission will be Sergei Bobrovsky from Golos faction. We are waiting for the voting because the preliminary results, her report was resonant, was highly covered, but we have not seen the actual results. I support Anna's proposal that Arsen Avakov should be dismissed. It is impossible that a person who has so bad reputation would continue for the second period to stay in his position. Thank you. We hope for the activity of temporary investigatory commission. If this case is really investigated adequately, this will be an example of success for other people. We also help other victims in the cases, other activists. I believe if we fight out to success in this case, then we will see further results in other cases too. Thank you. I hope that altogether we will get good results. I will give the floor to Anastasia Semka, co-coordinator of the project Strengthening the System of Public Activists. If you know how to act, you are half protected already. Good afternoon. Safety means a set of actions, and every activist should remember this set. That is why in the framework of our project we decided to draft several guidances for safety of activists. The first is civil activists without damage and cases. This course consists of 10 lectures, 10 hours of lectures. The topics are to be known by every activist. They include organization and holding of civil meetings, of peaceful meetings, and then digital safety. What to do if you are accused of an offense. We provide both video and audio lectures, and we also provide printed guidelines. Our tool is a chatbot in Telegram. Its name is Activist Advisor. If you use Telegram, you can find this chatbot. It is built in the form of Q&As. There you can find the info what to do when you are attacked, when you are intimidated or threatened, and it is better to read through this board when you are in calm settings, but not when someone has already attacked you. The third product is online app Your Safety. It is downloadable for iOS and Android systems. We are at the final stage of testing. Phone sets have different systems. We have some problems with operation of the system on Android platform. It sends your location, your geolocation to your friends, and friends can monitor your locations and your movements, and you can also listen to audio records after an alarm button is activated, because these pictures and video can have information recorded that are important for investigative journalists. How it works: it provides access to pictures, to location. Why is it so? When your friends get your precise location, when the button is activated, then they can see how you move, where you go after this alarm has been labeled, and they also can listen to what is happening. There was a case when investigative journalists they were recording how the sand is mined unlawfully, and pictures of people and law enforcement officers, but after they made all the pictures, and after they made these materials, their cameras and their car, they were damaged by those people they recorded. There is the function in this app. You can when you enable a button, you cannot disable it within 15 minutes. This is for safety reasons, and your friends can see your location if internet connection is good. We are now updating it so that this app can be very fast enabled. You should not send SMS, or you should not call your friends. You can do 3 clicks, and in 3 clicks you send SMSs to 5 your friends, and you warn that you are in unsafe situation. We also have developed our recommendation for law enforcement officers, because we want to share our skills. Please give the floor to Anna. We insist that it is necessary to introduce joint activities of civil activists and law enforcement officers in order to introduce preventive measures and to prevent attacks on activists. The first is to introduce systemic public reporting of law enforcement bodies at least monthly in order to strengthen coverage in mass media about the cases detected and investigated on attacks against activists. The second is to include systemic communications functions into the responsibility of one of the top office officials of the headquarters, law enforcement headquarters, so that they report on strengthening of cooperation with activists and improving their safety to ensure all investigative actions are timely and complete, and to ensure operative investigations, fast investigations of the already threatened and intimidated activists. One activist in Odessa, she claimed that she is watched at 9 o'clock, from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, and from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock at night. But they interrogated people who worked at 4 o'clock at night. By the results of the decision of disciplinary commission, we found that 10 investigative officers have found no offense in their colleagues' actions. To ensure the implementation, the exercise of the right for peaceful assemblies, and we understand that here strengthening is needed. Thank you, Ghana. Thank you to everyone for coming to our event, that you understand that activists should be safe. We continue to work on the system of protecting activists, it is impossible for activists to be in danger because of their views and stands. I would like to thank the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Czech Republic for their active participation in our activist protection, and we invite you to use all our tools because they have been created for you, for activists. And this alarm button is one of my favorite products. This will give you knowledge, and sometimes not only knowledge you need, but this will give you more safety and a chance to report that something bad is happening. Now we have a round of questions and answers. No questions, then thank you for attention and have a nice day.